Hello, this is Teacher Alfred, and I am your online English teacher. I hope that in one way or another, you would learn something from this lesson video. Okay, so let us start. My name is Alfred B. Camino Jr., your English teacher again. And for a starter, we will learn about verbs. Have you heard about verbs? For sure you do. So let me just read all these verbs on your screen. You can actually read after me also. Adopt, smell, shoot, use, swing, receive, prove, pet, perform, misplace, type, target, toss, grow, educate, dust, curl. So if you notice, all these words are expressing action. So that is verbs, when a word expresses action. Okay, so we'll learn about the verb tenses. Verb tenses show when the action happens, that's number one. Happened, that's number two. And will happen, that's number three. Okay, so today we will learn about all the simple forms of verbs. Okay, so if you're ready, we start with when the action happens. What does it mean when we say happens? It simply means that we are talking about the simple present form of verb. Okay, the simple present form of verb which show habitual actions. Example, I always take a shower in the evening. I is the subject here. Verb is take. No S because I is counted as plural. And this expresses that you are showing a habitual action, an action that you always or often do. Actually, if you ask the question here, when or how often do I take a shower in this sentence? The answer is in the evening. So it's habitual, always. She works here every day. Our subject is she. What does she do? Or what word shows action? Works. And this time it has S because our subject is she, counted as singular. So put S. And if you ask yourself, how often does she work here? Every day. Habitual action. So always remember this. If it is a habitual action, simple present form. Another, if the verb states a fact or generalization, it's like a universal truth, scientific fact. Okay, example, the moon revolves around the sun. So our subject is moon. What does the moon do? Revolve. But we put S. Why? Because moon is counted as one or singular. Put S. Another, rain falls from the sky. Subject is rain, counted as singular because it has no S, right? Because this has no S, subject is singular, so put S to your verb to make it in the singular form. Therefore, in our verbs, the singular form has S like works, revolves, falls. And the plural form of verb has no S like take. All right, always remember that. So this time, let's continue with present progressive. What do we mean by progressive? It means that for the progressive form, you need to insert am, is, and are before your verb, then add ing. This must be your sentence pattern. So if you ask me why, because a present progressive sentence states that the action are happening at the time of speaking, or actions are happening at the time of speaking, meaning right at that very moment you are speaking, The action is going on. Example, I am currently writing a new novel about my travels. So if I here is the speaker, as the speaker is saying something, that moment also he is writing. That's why he says, I am currently writing. You insert am, then ing. Why do we use am here? Not is, not are, because our subject is I. So always remember this. The partner of I is am. They always go together. If your subject is I, use am. I am currently writing ing because progressive. Always remember, if it's progressive form, put ing. Next one. She is working at her desk at the moment. She seems very busy. Subject is she. Verb is working. Why is? Because she is counted as one or singular. Then ing. Is working. Present progressive. Easy, right? So let's continue with when the action happened. Again, when the action happened. By the way, some students say happened. Okay, no, no, no. This time you need to aspirate. Happened. Okay, the sound after N because N is a voiced sound. Next time, I will teach you when to say the or t or id for the next lesson that we have. Okay, that we will have. So this time, let's continue with simple past. So you see this mark here, X mark here, this indicates that your action happened before or sometime behind in your present mark. So this time, you may either use was or were. Was if your subject is singular, were if your subject is plural, or you can use the past form of the verb. So let's have the examples. My mother did the laundry last weekend. Subject is mother. And then your verb is did. Actually, the base form of did is do. So this time we use did, the past form of do, because your action expresses that the action, I mean, the sentence, expresses that your action is completed in the past. Or you used to talk about dead people. That's for some other sentences. All right. Another one. Mozart wrote a lot of masterpieces. Subject is Mozart. Verb is wrote. The base form is write. So because our sentence expresses that the action is completed in the past or happened in the past, it may have happened yesterday, last month, last week, last year. It's already in the simple past. So instead of writing write, you write or you use wrote. All right? So let's have some more. What about past progressive? The structure is, or your sentence pattern must be, you use was or were. Again, was if the subject is singular, then were if the subject is plural, then ing. Remember I told you earlier, if it's in the progressive form, you simply add ing. Okay, so what does it mean if we say past progressive? It means that you show that an action in the past was happening, was interrupted by a shorter action. So there are 2 points of action that all happened sometime in the past. Example, Rico was cooking dinner when Honey arrived. Subject is Rico. Verb is was cooking. Was, because the subject is Rico, counted as singular. Okay? Then add ing to your verb. Very easy. Another one, they were answering the test when the bell rang. This time we use were because the subject is they, plural. And then add ing to your verb. Were answering. Subject is plural, they. Was cooking. Subject is singular, Rico. Past progressive. I hope you follow that. And last one, when the action will or when the action will happen. What do we mean by that? It means simple future. Look at our X mark here. It is placed way after our present mark. So in the sentence pattern, we need to use will. Always remember this, will. Actually, you can also use shall and then the base form. Okay, so or, so this is the alternative. You may use am, is, are, going to, then the base form of verb. Am, if the subject is I, always remember I and am are partners. Is, if the subject is singular, like he, she. Are, if the subject is plural, like they, we, then going to. So the alternative for will is going to, but am, is, or are. Then always the base form. So let's have the sample sentences. I will go to New Orleans next month. So the subject is I, then you used will, then the base form of verb. Another, she will be arriving soon. Subject is she, then you used will, then be, the base form of verb. So what does it mean? It shows that an action will or going to happen in the future, meaning the action has not happened yet. Like look at this one. When will you go to New Orleans? Next month. So it did not happen yet. It is yet to happen in the future. For this sentence, next month. She will be arriving soon. When? Soon. You do not know. We are not certain. It may be an hour later or a day after. So we are not so sure. It must be soon or minutes later. Who knows, right? Because it says soon. So what's important here or the key here in simple future is the action is yet to happen. What about its progressive form? Remember, for the progressive, your verb should have ing, ing. And for you to do that in future progressive form, you insert will after be. So it must be will, then be, then ing to your verb. Or remember the alternative, you may use am, is, are, going to, insert be because progressive, then ing to your verb. So let's have the sample sentences. The chef will be preparing the food tonight when I arrive. Subject is chef. Verb is will be preparing. Will plus be plus ing to your verb. Because when will the chef be preparing? When I arrive. Okay, so this is the indication that the action did not happen yet. Rather, it is yet to happen in the future. Another, I will be studying tonight for the exam, so don't call me. Subject is I. Verb is will be studying. Future progressive. When? Tonight for the exam. So what does it mean? It means that, or it shows that an ongoing action in the future will be interrupted by another future action. So 2 points of action that all are yet to happen in the future. So they did not happen yet. So will be plus ing to your verb, future progressive. Will be ing to your verb, future progressive. Very easy, right? So I hope you were able to follow with our lesson. So these are our simple forms of verb. The present simple, present progressive, past simple, past progressive, future simple, future progressive. When the action happens, when the action happened, and when the action will happen. I hope you learned something, and if you do like this video, feel free to subscribe. I would appreciate it more. If you have questions, just comment in the comment box below or send me a private message. Thank you again and bye-bye.